Welcome to Durianrider's Chop Shop. Today we are stripping down this S-Works Ruby.
Alright.
Do you remember back in 2012, Handlebar made an Evo with what do you call it? Tubulars?
Yeah.
That weighed 5.5.
Okay, so we've cleaned the headset out, greased it. If you clean and grease your headset, they're going to last so long. And we're just filming here. Got some derailleurs we're going to put on. Another thing with these SRAM derailleurs is often the pulley's cracked, so make sure your pulley's not cracked, because that could cause your chain to jump off. These ones are alright. So I mean, compare this weight to like your latest SRAM Red axis derailleur. I mean, it's not even, like it's almost like half the weight of the latest SRAM Red 12-speed. SRAM Red 12-speed's heavier than this 2008 10-speed stuff. Front derailleur, you know, Brazon 70Gs. Got a Dura 7800 we might put on. A little bit stiffer, but I don't mind the SRAM Red derailleur. It's 82 grams. So if we're going to put the Brazon with the clamp. Okay, so the Dura Ace wins. Dura 7800, 82 grams. Another SRAM Red, 71. So it should be 210 for 3. So 212. So they're pretty accurate, the weights of these. But today it wins out for the Dura Ace 7800. Beautiful piece of machinery, this one as well. It's a bit of a clean, got this for about $10. So yeah, people just, this stuff is gold, man. It's worth nothing though, it's worth nothing. And only people who buy this stuff are generally collectors like myself, so but it's worth pennies, you know, $10. $10 for a derailleur. If I advertise this day for $10, I might get $10 here in Adelaide, you know. It's beautiful stuff though, it just works forever if you look after it. And these are the bearings that come out of the S-Works Ruby. They're really good condition still, they're ceramic. They're also interchangeable, meaning the bottom top same. And they're 41.88 for 45, so they're really good. One issue with these specialized bikes is proprietary fork. So if you do have a problem with the fork, you're sort of going to be stranded basically, unfortunately. You know, I always used to think the SL1s weren't proprietary, but I was wrong. Well, this is a proprietary. This is the SL1 Ruby proprietary S-Works fork. So if you lose this fork or damage it in a crash, then you're really going to be struggling. You know, an example of a fork that's non-proprietary, let's say we've got an Eastern fork here, that's non-proprietary, it's just 1.5 inches. This will fit almost all 1.5 inch frames, excluding maybe Trekkie 2s. But otherwise, this will fit your Pragma, your wind space, things like that. So proprietary, I'm not a fan of. But unfortunately, the bike industry loves proprietary because it means you're locked in. That's the ring of death as well in that fork there. So we wouldn't use that, splitting on that. But there you go. Otherwise, Eastern fork's really nice and thick. Just don't ride with a loose headset, crew. That's what causes ring of death. Loose headset. Properly maintain your bicycle. This is a 2-minute job. This is a 2-minute job or less to tighten your headset at adequate torque. 2-minute job to prevent such damage. And we're going to cut this as well. So I've only got this done up to 2 Newton meters. So again, this is called the stem penis. And we normally run a long plug, but today we've got the stock specialized one in there. But this could definitely cause a failure if we torqued it up to 5 or 6 and rode on it. Could definitely cause delamination, damage in the fork steerer. So we're going to probably cut this today. We're just going to ride around the block on it. Natasha's only like 59 kilos, super light. So it's not as an issue, just for ride around the block. And we see here, these bars have got a crack in there. It's like a little bit of a, can you see that? That line?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it's running that way, we wouldn't use them. Because it's running that way, it's a bit of a crimp. It's so to use. We check our product regularly. We dismantle it and just sort of check it. So I've given it a visual there. I know what it's looking like. And if it gets any worse than that, we'll just take these bars off and bin them. But again, if I would never sell these bars to anyone. Like I would chuck them in the bin. I would ride them myself.
Am I going to use them?
You're going to use them because the crack's not like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you're super light and you're not, doing jumps and aggressive stuff. And you've got me servicing your bike, so any issues we can see it. But
how often should you check it?
Every 1,000 or 2,000 k, just drop your bars out and have a little sniff. But again, that's very common in carbon bars. That's why second-hand carbon bars are pretty much worthless. So I would, yeah. It's also just from the starting on the top. but it's not going to fail on the sides, which is a concern. But anyway, if you're over 60 kilos or 75 kilos or whatever, 65 kilos rather, then I wouldn't use that. If you're an aggressive rider, I wouldn't use that. If you're sprinting, I wouldn't use that. If you're racing crits, don't use that. If you're just doing uphill TTs, cruising around, going easy in the descents, not hitting big bumps, this is going to be so-so if you're a super lightweight rider.
Sometimes there's no option other than to hit a bump.
Yeah, but again, you're just such a lightweight rider, you know. It's and you don't hit them very hard, and you hit them pretty good, so it'll be fine for you.
Okay.
And, all right, so we're just getting our bars on here. Bike's starting to come. This is where I take my time building the bike, because we want to do more precision. We want to take note of stuff. We're also going to look back here if there's any cracks around there. If there's any crack around here, we bin this bar. That's definitely not acceptable around that area. So yeah, carbon bars are just really, bit of a bad idea. But the bike industry loves carbon bars because as soon as you have a crash, generally the carbon bar cracks or gets damaged.
You like them too. That's why I do as well. That's why we use them.
What do you mean? Tell me more about that. What your belief? Why do you think I like carbon bars?
Because you use them on most of your road bikes.
Yeah, but they're on there.
If you didn't like them, you wouldn't use them.
I wouldn't buy them, I should say. I wouldn't buy carbon bars ever again. But I'll use them
ever
on certain
again.
bikes
Well,
now.
you've definitely bought a lot.
No. I bought in my life. I've bought 2 pairs of carbon fiber bars. 2 pairs. One was in 1998, Tioga mountain bike set, and the other was a pair of 3T Ergonovas in Thailand, 2016.
What about all of the bikes you bought that came with carbon bars?
Exactly. The bike I bought came with the bars.
Oh, but you wouldn't choose that.
Pardon?
But you wouldn't choose that.
No, I wouldn't choose that. No way. If someone said to me, hey, we'll swap the bars out for a set of brand new alloy ones, FSA Energies, I'm like, let's do it. There would be no loss. So carbon bars.
Okay, cool.
Don't mean much at all.
Just providing some context there.
Which is very, very important. Context is very important. Because, I mean, Natasha's correct. It does look like that. It's like, well, if you don't like them, why do you ride them? It's like the bars on my bike are safe. They're okay. Some of them got little cracks in there and stuff like that. So I can manage that.
What if there's a crack in an alloy bar?
Oh, then you'd bin that straight away. Because...
So what if the alloy bars had what this has here?
You'd bin that. You'd bin that, for
Why?
sure.
So it's more disposable, alloy bars.
It's recyclable, but it's just it's more of like alloy. If alloy's got a crack in it, it's going to fail. If carbon's got a crack in it, it can just be the top laminate, and then it can be okay. But alloy's not like that. It's going to crack all the way through. Like this bar,
because there's so many layers there.
Yeah, this bar might be fine for like a heavy duty rider. Probably not, but it could be. But an alloy bar had a crack like that, it's definitely going to fail. It's just like it's a matter of days before it pops on a ride. But carbon, like I've got carbon bikes with cracks in the top tube or the seat tube, and it's fine, but it just stays there. It doesn't get any bigger, so it's an alloy one. If an alloy frame cracks, it always gets bigger. It always gets bigger. We'll do this fine tune later. But so these crack because people don't use torque wrenches, etc., and they just monkey them along. So whoever built this bike before I got it definitely over torqued it.
Yep.
Did it too tough. So we're just lining it up. We're just getting it sort of square, and then we'll do the fine tune bike fit. What's Natasha's on the bike, and we're happy with the angles, etc. But yeah, it just goes to show you. And when we're doing the stem bolts up, I can feel that I'm doing it like sort of a cross pattern, doing it pretty even. But again, we're just sort of snugging them up. This isn't the final set. This isn't the final position, so they need to do it to full torque. Front brake, loop it behind the cables here. This is just so easy to build. We'll steal a little bolt off this brake here. What is that doing? Just steal one off here. This is a SRAM red brake, Gen 1. Still in great condition. I'll put this bad boy on. And, this is always a bit of a longer extension cable thing here. So you can use telescoping eyes and pretend what's happening on the other side of the bike. So yeah, very, very easy to build up. Boom, just like that. That's pretty much the front end. Rear brake.
I want to wipe it first.
Want to wipe what? Brake?
The brakes.
Yes, you can do that. Do it on and off. We'll pause the camera, then you can give it a bit of polish, baby. So we are going to, I've taken out the steerer specialised plug because I'm not too sure just yet how much you want to cut it, so I'm going to put this longer plug in there, and that way you can run the stem penis without risking damaging, because this is going to go down there, so it gives protection. And if we use the stock one with the stem penis, it's going to go to there, and then that bottom clamp area is going to potentially fracture the steerer tube. It's not what you want, so always run a longer plug if you want to put space on top, unless it's just to ride around the car park. Even then, be careful how many Newton meters you put for that stem. Okay, so we've cut the steerer, and you can sort of see this plug goes down deep. So we took it for a block right around the block, and Tasha said, slam it, daddy. And so we've cut the steerer, and that's boom like that. The edge is pretty even. So that's going to go, you can sort of see that's just going to go deep beyond split ring, and give the front end a little bit more stiffness as well. So when that front end is more stiffer, put a longer plug in and less spaces. Okay, we have cut that to absolute precision. Look at that. Look at that. And to save weight, we don't use the top cap. We just set the tension, then take the cap and plug off. No need for that. Beautiful, look at that. Beautiful.